Hey, it's Keith from Outlaw Speed Shop, and this week we're going to take this and add tires to that. All right, so first off, I'm going to crack these open. And I always liked I actually hate the car, but I like the tires and the size of the tires on the GT. And I am a diehard Chevelle fan, having multiple as I was growing up. Never had a 64 though, and 64s, I like the boxy style. They lend themselves to pro touring, so that's the look I wanted to go with. And the stock cars pretty much already got that. Pretty basic, chrome everything, chrome base, chrome interior. The body style just to me is really one of those timeless designs that allow you to do quite a bit. You can go pro street, pro touring. You can jack it up. You can do all kinds of stuff. So I started off by drilling. I didn't put a lot of effort into the GT, mainly because I don't like the car and I only want the wheels. A little wobble of the drill knocks the rivet head off, or the post head, and this comes off really easy, a lot easier actually than the Chevelle. Just be careful if you're going to do this to not pry using the tires like I almost did. You want to be able to salvage the axles the best you can, and a little plastic base makes it easy. Drilling out the newer models is a lot easier because it's already got the preset little dimple in the post hole. So I always start off with a smaller bit, try to go just deep enough so that it's almost like my guide pin for when I do this after it's off. Pretty clean. Obviously it's brand new, so there shouldn't be any issues. Casting's pretty decent, nothing to write home about. Some minor blemishes, but nothing horrible. Plastic base, chrome interior, which is nice because it's got the motor in the front and rear bumper and grill assemblies. I like the gray tinted windows. I'm not a fan of the colored windows. So ultimately, what I'm going to want to do is put the tires on. So right here, I'm kind of mocking it up just to see where I'm at. I ran into some not major problems, but I did run into some fitment issues with this because mainly the interior. The tires fit inside, no problem. Obviously, these axles are a lot wider than they're going to have to get trimmed down. So I want the car to sit low, but still have somewhat of a stance. So once I get a rough idea of what I want, I did switch, if you watch my last video, to the Citrus Strip gel and got away from the aerosol can. Just haven't had much success. I find this is just a lot easier. I don't know. It's just me. These newer cars with the heavy clear coats are kind of a pain in the ass anyways. But the Citrus Strip did work. I actually forgot it in there for a while, so it was almost 24 hours. I matte clear the interior. It makes it easier to paint and to do anything with, and it kind of knocks the chrome down. The plastic shininess is too much. So after the car is stripped, I've already, you can see here, I kind of knocked it down with the matte clear. The body itself, for the most part, the Citrus Strip took almost all the paint off. A lot of little nooks and crannies and crevices that needed to come out. So I used the wire brush attachment on my Dremel. I have two. I have this bigger one, and then I have a thin wire wheel style. This one pretty much I use for the big stuff. Helps knock it down quick, you can see. I only have this sped up maybe 2 times speed, so this goes pretty quick. Like I said, the Citrus Strip takes out most of it. What I like about this Dremel attachment is because it's wide. It's almost the same width as the cars, so it really helps more just to get a larger area quickly, and it also helps on the inside of the cars because it fits right inside and it gets inside the doors, the roof, and any place around the posts and stuff like that. And then you can just kind of finish it off with the smaller one. Ultimately, you don't, preparation is probably half this project. And the last thing you want to do is start painting and have a little flake of old paint kind of fly off when you're trying to paint. So I spend probably a little bit too much time on this kind of detail work, making sure I got every little thing, because sometimes no matter how many times you do it, you look under a certain light, you see a piece left over, a little remnant here and there in a nook or a cranny. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll take a picture with my cell phone and then I blow it up, and it allows me to see, really if I missed anything, and it happens all the time. So here you can see me kind of going inside. And it works out pretty good. Again, don't rush it. Take your time. This is supposed to be a fun, enjoyable hobby. Time to get away from the wife and the kids and the dog and the cat and whatever life stresses you out. So do it right. Because doing it the second time sucks just as bad, if not worse, because you did something stupid, or you skipped a step, or you rushed it. So take your time, do it right. But this was a pretty fun car to work on, and I had a lot of trial and error as far as fitting the tires and getting them underneath and getting it to fit and sit right. So here you can kind of see, if you can see the red marker on there, I'd already trimmed some. What happens is when the interior sits down flush on the base, the tires rub. So I had to start knocking out. You can see where I'm pointing with the screwdriver. And I'd already notched some out. So you have to notch out quite a bit to get it so that it sits flush and the wheels will still turn and fit underneath everything. So what I did is I attached some brass rod and I set them up a little bit higher. Okay, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's actually maybe a quarter of an inch, or not quite 3/16 of an inch higher than where the axle would normally sit. So that helped get it lower. I just use a Dremel tool to slowly notch away. Don't go crazy with this. You'll either cut a digit off or cut into an area you really don't want to cut into, and make it kind of a pain in the ass to fix. So just take your time. I did this probably 5-6 times, even though I marked it out with a pen, just to make sure I did it right. And I didn't take out any more than I needed to. I probably could have gone a little bit more, but ultimately I had just enough. So I just kind of grind it away with the disc. It's plastic. It goes real quick. You can see here I've already done it 2 or 3 times, and I'm still marking stuff off just to make sure, because the last thing you need to do is screw this step up, because then you got to go buy another car. Not a big deal. You grab the interior out of it, but still, in the end, make sure you trim it with a knife, get all the dingleberries off, and that helps too because I'm going to be painting this anyway. So last thing you need, sometimes especially with plastic, it gets hot and it melts and it'll go inside, and it'll obstruct and kind of give you a false reading as to how it's sitting and fitting. So make sure that you just trim everything, and try to stay away from, obviously on this, the front bumper and the rear bumper assemblies. But overall came out pretty good. Again, just take your time. And this was, trial and error. I didn't want to glue the tires yet because I wanted to do a little work on the body. I'm sorry, on the base. So what I did is I cut the axle in half, and then I trimmed each side, so it worked out good. But again, this is probably like the 20th time I fit it, just to make sure. And I'm not even sure. I think I still did it one more time after I stopped filming, because my OCD kicked in, and the rear shelf right behind the rear seat was just barely touching the tires. So it was okay loose, but if I would have tightened the screws on the base to the body, it probably would have rubbed. So I ended up grinding a little bit away. So once all the fitting is done, then I work on the final prep. And I wet sanded it with 3,000 and then 6,000 just to kind of get everything off. Excuse me. And then I wiped it with mineral spirits. Actually, I cleaned it, then I wiped it with mineral spirits. And again, I've said it before in my other videos. Just when you think you got everything off, you wipe it down with mineral spirits. And look, you can see the black on the paper towel that I'm using. Every time you think you got it clean, you don't got it clean. So what I end up doing is I'll put it on the base, my helping hands, and then I'll wipe it down one more time. But you just saw the first time me using the white primer from Tamiya. I don't know what the hell it is, but worked really good, real thin. I like it. I added some exhaust pipes underneath because I thought that that would have the look that I wanted. Um, I painted the entire base black, top and bottom, flat black, and I ended up matte clearing it later after I detailed what I wanted to detail. So again, I'm fitting it one more time, making sure everything looks good. I had to grind away underneath the base just to make sure there was clearance for the tires. And here I am mixing. I'm using Wicked Colors. I wanted a gunmetal, and obviously I couldn't find it, so I'm using a little bit of silver metallic, a drop of black, and some reducer, mixing it up. I'm kind of doing this by eye. There's no, if I had to guess, I'd say it was 10 parts to 1 part, and 10 parts silver to 1 part black, just so that I could get the right color. I didn't want it too silvery, and obviously I didn't want it too dark because it'll just turn black. I really wanted that gunmetal look. And this, again, there's no formula. Just do it by eye, whatever works for you. So here's the base coat applied before I put the primer on. I think it came out really good. I also painted the wheels, and I did the ring around it with the red because I wanted some color to be added to, for the most part. I mean, it was going to be a black and dark gray, essentially, car, so I wanted something to offset it. So I painted the tips of the axles heads and the ring around the rim just to offset. I'm not sure 100% whether I like the center caps being red or not. I'm still kind of undecided on it. I may go back and change it. Pretty much here, all I do is put a little dab of glue on the end of each axle, stick it in, and after I do that, I'll spin the wheels a little bit, make sure that it's freed up, push the axles in, everything's good. Obviously, this is time-lapse. I wish I could work this fast. I think this took me all week to do just because I only have a couple hours each night. So once that's done, I'm pretty much ready to put together. The body is drying at this point, and I let the clear coat dry for a couple days, and I think it came out really, really good. The clear coat, just I use the Redline Shop clear coat, and I've always been kind of hesitant to put it on heavy. I put it on thin this time. I'm sorry, I put it on heavy this time. Oh, it came out amazing, and it didn't run. So I think I finally got my groove. You can see right here how it came out. It came out really, really good. So I put a couple tacky coats and then a really heavy coat. And this is how it came out. I hope you guys like it. If you do, please subscribe, like, share, comment. Tell me I suck. Tell me it came out good. Tell me what you want to see next. But I appreciate it, and thank you. I'll catch you on the next one.